Dr. Ray.
Hi, and I'm Eric, and we want to thank you for watching this video. We have some really good information about a really, this is something that any guy who's been in a relationship especially can absolutely relate to this, and that's what to do in moments whenever your woman gets upset or she doesn't feel like she can trust you. You hear a woman use that words like, I don't feel like I can trust you. And as a guy, sometimes you're really confused because you weren't trying to lie or be dishonest, but what triggered that? So maybe shed a little light on that for us, Dr. Ray, is what can lead to the woman saying, I don't trust you.
It's very important for men to understand the biological response that women have that's unconscious. And in other words, they're smaller. They could be raped. They could be hurt. Also, if they get pregnant, they have to carry this child for 9 months. The list goes on as far as their biology is concerned, that where even if they can't get pregnant, meaning they're on the pill or they're not even able, they're in their 40s or 50s, it's that there's still this innate response that they need to feel safe to be able to be with a man. Now, the way that has shifted more in our culture now, because we don't necessarily need each other to survive, it's more of emotional space. So, for example, if the one thing that typically a woman wants from you, and that's if she's in her feminine, is for you to be able to hear her feelings. More and often, men take that personally. So men will withdraw, they'll get angry, they'll try to fix it, they'll take it personally, and whatever. And in that, what they're saying, I don't feel like I can trust, I don't feel safe with you, I don't trust being myself with you. And that's overwhelming. And the emotions that they have is no differently than if they were being chased by a saber-toothed cat and they don't feel safe. Their biology, the same nervous system they have as far as to protect themselves, is on high alert with you. They don't know if they could be safe with you. Maybe you might not physically hurt them, but something in their body is saying, run, I can't be myself in the situation.
Yeah, I've been in situations where, in relationships where you get into an argument, and usually what happens is maybe, the girl you're with, she feels upset about something, or she kind of complains, and from the perspective, sometimes we can perceive that as like she's nagging or complaining, or you feel like it's unjustified, or it's not rational, and then you get triggered emotionally and maybe kind of fire back. And you'll find out very quickly that the feminine energy dominates the emotions. And if you try to step into an emotional contest, a competitive space with a woman, she's always going to win that. That's her being. That's where what matters most to her. She knows it well. Just as the masculine space is going to feel like you want to don't be told directions when driving. The classic stuff that shows up, or you want to feel kind of in control. You feel like you got your head wrapped around things. When you lose that control in an argument, or let it go to an argument, it ends up really dividing. The energy is not good at all. It's almost like you need to be like, part of being a man is being able to take it on the chin. And what's helped me is to realize that women's emotions can really rise and fall, and we're not used to that as men, and we can take it. We can get sucked into that wave. And really, we shouldn't be in the water with the wave. We should be the shore that the wave crashes on, and know that as soon as it crashes, it'll dissolve, and then you can communicate. And usually, how many times you've been in an argument and she comes back and says, I'm sorry, maybe I was a little harsh, because she was just in a moment, an emotional wave. And that can be scary as a guy, because we don't think that way. We're not wired that way.
Yeah, or be the boat on top to ride it out. It's interesting you say that. It's something really important to also for you to understand also. So oftentimes men are trying to give reasons for why something happened, and yet the feminine is getting more angry and more pissed off, because she feels like you're not feeling her. So you have to feel her fully. She doesn't care, even if it's irrational. If she doesn't feel like she can share, she doesn't trust you. So if a woman is saying that, the best thing that you can do is start listening to her. Listen to the wisdom that comes from her. Feel into her heart. You might say, well, what the hell does that mean? Well, if you're in your head trying to listen to her so she likes you, that's not being genuine. And she could feel that. It's really holding space for her. And remember, trust has to do mostly with emotions. Now, of course, if you have cheated on your woman multiple times, that has made her not feel safe. If that might be a little bit different, of course, that you might have a track record that you have to work with, but still, when it comes to, say, the basic emotional stuff, you know, and I'm sharing it this way because I know that some men have done some really messed up things, and she shouldn't trust you anymore. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
siding with a woman, okay? So if
Yeah.
you're a guy and said, I'll never cheat again, you've done it 3-4 times, probably our advice is not going to help you. So
Well,
just,
truly those guys aren't being masculine, because a true masculine heart-centered energy is going to be, you're going to be able to communicate up front what you're really congruent with. And if you're not congruent with monogamy and you're not in that space, you have to be clear and honest with that up front. So a lot of times it's a communication issue, and it's because of the fear of the feminine emotions, or fear of, you're in a way trying to please her by saying what she wants to hear, but you are really going into your feminine yourself. You're not really being a man whenever you hide what you're truly congruent with.
yeah.
So you're right, it won't work.
That's it. So that's, I mean, so again, the take home with this is just remember that it's more of an emotional thing, and that, I mean, I work with clients all the time, and I'll have their wife, their girlfriend is just going off on them, and I teach them how to hold space. Imagine the feminine being a train and the masculine being the tracks, and you're just directing it, not trying to fix it, but just holding space for her so she can just feel heard. And I've seen that happen. I've seen couples almost they're about to get a divorce, and just by me there and kind of guiding both of them, that after they leave the session, I get a text message and the guy saying, "Oh my God, she's somehow became a different person. She felt heard," and so they patched up the relationship, and that's what you need to do.
That's good. Well, it's good information. So definitely thank you for sharing that. And I know you have a course for men specifically to help them connect with their true masculinity. The course is chock full of information, not only in theory and mindset, but also of actionable, like exercises, things you do to actually rewire your neural pathways. If you haven't had a positive masculine role model in your life, which many men don't today, society is it's just not very strong. We'll put a link right here in the video, and make sure you go check out that course. It's something that is, basically Dr. Ray has chunked down all his information he's been teaching for over a decade to men, and put it into this single, easy to digest program that you can go through and start experiencing a shift immediately. So thank you, Dr. Ray, and appreciate your feedback.
Thank you.